evening everybody, and welcome here in China for round 7 of Thursday night racing, of course season 2. And as you can see, a couple of guys already on track and a decent turnout. But of course, to tell you more about that, my co-commentator tonight as always, Mr. Not Fernando.
Evening everyone. It's Thursday yet again. We're here for round 7. We're in a troublesome part of the world. We're here for round 7.
Yeah, troublesome indeed. Of course, what's happening
anyway,
at the moment.
We're in China. Luckily, it's just a digital, virtual China. But we've got a few guys out on circuit already. Obviously, if you joined us last week, you would have seen the change in machinery. Guys obviously changing over to touring cars after round 5. Now their second go at these machines. Obviously just the Mercs and the Mercedes. Sorry, the BMWs and the Mercedes. Mercs and Mercedes are the same thing. Sorry, I've just got Merc burnt into my head because I read a headline that scared the living crap out of me.
Do I dare ask?
I read a headline that suggested that the reason for the long talks between Mercedes and Hamilton are not necessarily because of money, but because of structure. They're talking about a 10-year deal.
Wow.
Which would take Hamilton to Mercedes till past Raikkonen's age currently. So,
wow.
But yeah, that is quite hectic. And anyone who was hoping to break into that Merc seat,
good luck with that.
There's one less seat apparently. Yeah, we've got Gav Pig. He's out on circuit. No lap times just yet. Still
early days.
Having their first goes at it.
Complete different livery compared to the blackish livery of last week.
Just got to keep your eyes on that timing screen on the left. Maybe a little confusion because it's going to say not and not. Obviously the one is not Kimi.
And the one is not Sebastian.
And the other one is not Sebastian.
And of course the good thing about it, all 9 drivers tonight are human drivers, there's no AI.
Actually, speaking of... Oh wow, that's just confusing. Oh no, look at his race number.
Oh, what the hell. Not Sebastian.
And
has
44. Race number 44. That's just not right. And it's on a Beamer.
Oof. That is like a double no-no for Merc.
Like the 44 is supposed to be on the Merc, it's supposed to be on the Hamilton, but it's on a Sebastian,
no.
so...
I don't think Toto's going to approve this.
Yeah, no, I'm not...
That provisionally fastest 149.7 was still early days. And surely that Nismax lap was not at full speed, come on, that is cement bagging at its best.
Probably even some time off the circuit there, 24 seconds. Chen goes second,
and
not Sebastian, not Kimi.
Yeah, they
going first and second.
And for
the not Kimi livery looking surprisingly like alpha colours. Just saying.
Well, that also spotted last week. Funny enough, that colour scheme, not Kimi. Very nicely done there. Of course, those two are just 4 tenths apart.
Not a big gap there, just 4 tenths, but we still wait to see what Nismax has got up his sleeve.
I believe 145, 144 will be a decent, from what my earlier gatherings from when the guys were talking about times in practice and stuff. So sounds like if you go on that, I think this 146 will drop. Of course, that's a man back tonight again after missing a couple of races.
Really
so welcome,
a little bit of damage.
And of course, another guy back is we welcome back the judge. For a change, he's not. Right. For a change, he's not Eskom's favourite friend.
He's actually got electricity on this occasion, so
he paid his bills for a change. You see, Judgy, if you pay your bill,
doesn't hear that. I hope he doesn't hear that.
If you pay your bill, Judgy, you will have electricity.
If he suddenly has a violent accident, it's because he's ranting. Ranting back at us and we can't hear you.
Not like last week where he was actually on the chat watching the stream. Of course, power outage, so he joined the... When as I say power outage, oh, where pops a ESCOM notification. Luckily it's a positive one, not load shedding.
The last thing we need is... we shouldn't speak about... I mean, we know how commentators curse.
So let's rather not talk load shedding, yeah?
Let's not talk load shedding. That's just a bad idea. Let's speak Gavin.
Hey, can he actually bring something of the old gaff pig back tonight? Because last week he was definitely not the gaff pig we know. He was literally playing bumping cars.
Guys, to look out for these. Sebastian Munner. Sebastian Munner.
Not Sebastian, but yeah, close enough.
This is messing me around, but anyway. Obviously Sebastian is going to be quick, Kimmy is going to be quick. Obviously Nizmax. And Chen has shown in the past he can be right up there as well. If Gavin can get his lap times together, I've got no doubt he can be as quick as the rest of them. Let's get a lap time together, nothing as of yet.
Ooh.
Best lap time 2:01.
I thought he would do that. Thought he's going to do that there.
Sounds very strange to say Sebastian and Kimmy, so you're going to have to say not Sebastian and not Kimmy.
That's it.
Luckily I'm not out there, otherwise you'd have 3 knots.
3 knots. And luckily Maverick is also not here, otherwise it would have been 4 knots.
Would have been not Maverick as well. To go slightly different. Pick the name from either Top Gun or MotoGP, whichever one you wanna.
Yeah, and of course not Fernando, not Sebastian. But funny enough, not Fernando is not actually related to the F1.
What's that?
But not Fernando was actually not because of a F1 thing, not because of a favorite driver Alonso thing. Of course it was for a different reason.
No, Alonso's never been my favorite driver.
Yeah, let's just say not Fernando actually not Fernando came about because of something completely different.
Yeah. I never disliked Fernando.
Okay,
I liked him, but I was never a Fernando Alonso fan.
We have a request there from M&M. Slim Shady himself wants to spectate Toki. Toki is just in the pits at the moment. As soon as he goes on track, we will cut to him a bit. For the moment he's just sitting there. You could, Mr. Race Director, you could just maybe go into the pit. I see, there we go, Toki's coming out. Or not. Bit of damage on his Merc.
Obviously the visual damage doesn't get any better throughout qualifying, so car will
great, there we go, that's support. I think for now he must first get his bonnet straightened out.
So far at the front, not Sebastian still leads, just 0.3 of a second.
Good evening. Couple of guys starting to comment there. Guys, as always, feel free to share your comments there. Always nice to hear from you guys and be part of a chat. Makes things also in the commentary box sometimes very exciting. Oh, not Sebastian with a huge spin there. Loses the back end completely, but luckily it doesn't look like there was a real big smash there with the barriers. And of course, as it happened, jumped into the pits.
Currently third on the grid, we've got Chen. Obviously had that great race in round 5 where he led the majority of that 2-hour race in Bathurst. Always kept my eyes on his lap time since then.
I
showed his potential. Another
Toki fan there, Chazzy Boy, I see, he says Toki must give it beans. I think that's a bit of a dangerous statement, because obviously there's a guy with a name Beans racing actually in one of the leagues. So I don't think you want to give beans to Toki or let Toki gooi beans. It's not going to be a good thing. We're riding here, nice bonnet shot here with Toki. course outlap here.
Going around slowly for now.
But also one of those tracks with with some deceiving corners.
We have Ratcliffe currently in 6th. He's 3.5 seconds off the pace.
This reminds me a lot of Bruno. We also the corners, you don't really see the corner until you're in it. Then you see what the corner do.
Almost when you're on top of the apex, that's when
that's
you see it.
But it's nice to see the guys back tonight. So obviously with no load shedding happening, much better turnout. Always nice to have human drivers rather than AI. Because these AIs here can really be a pain in the you know what.
Yeah, we've noticed that the AI in this particular game can be quite aggressive and they get quite racy at the most awkward of times.
You come to a lap and then they want to race you.
When they're being lapped, and they'll suddenly push you wide in a corner. Toki will now start a fast lap. His head is out lap. Gives us the lights down the straight.
That's it, Craig. That's a much better one. Gee gas, alright. Put foot in the hook. Press the accelerator. Keep the gas going. Let's see now. He did start a hot lap now. See what Toki can get up to. Was chose to go with a Merc. A couple of more Mercs tonight compared to last week. Saw more BMs last week. It was literally only the one Merc last week.
I think it can also depend on the track. Basically, I know Munna has, he took them both around for quite a number of laps, and then he decided on the car he's driving.
As much as he was in the Merc last week, he decided to go for the BM this week. So he said it's a much better choice for this track. So that also explains why a lot of the guys are on the BM.
And just to be ironic, he jumped in a BM, slapped the 44 on it, and called himself Sebastian. That's kind of clownwood, even if.
But so, I think Toki's, as I was just about to say, Toki's the only one in a BMW is Nismax. Nismax is in a Merc. Sorry, I thought Toki in a Merc. So Nismax also jumped cars from last week in the BMW. He decided that he's going to go Merc this week.
I've been getting a lot of track limits on my race feed. Not sure what he's up to. Nismax currently 4th. I think there's more to come from him. He'll definitely close that second barrier.
Okay, there's a close one, 47 on the Merc, but it's not exactly the same as that 44. Toki in 5th still, 148, 3 seconds off at the moment. There we go. If you look at the top there, a 144 and a 145, exactly what I said earlier when the two knots came in and went 1st and 2nd respectively. So they did manage to go 144 and 145 respectively.
Not
the mod.
Toki goes down to 6th. Raptor has improved. Now 48.0.
Smallest of gaps there between those two. They're so close. Looks like it's going to be a Toki, Raptor and Judge battle in the midfield tonight.
We've had interesting battles in the midfield during this season.
Toki and the Judge, big time. I think they will actually love it, so it makes it also interesting. While these guys in front run away, at least these guys can dice each other. Funny enough, I didn't see War Machinist yet. No comments from War Machinist yet. War Machine pretty much pitches up every Thursday night, watch your stream and comment. Occasionally you also join the lobby and he joined the guys on track.
So the two BMs lead the way so far, 1st and 2nd. Both driving the Bavarian machinery. 1st, 2nd and 3rd actually. 10 also in the BM.
So one thing that they not have in common, it's not a Merc.
It's not a Merc. Obviously, just to confirm, Nizmax, Merc.
Oh wow, that BM looks
Gavin's
nice.
gone fifth.
With a German flag livery.
A decent time. Gavin goes fifth. 147.8 improves.
Gavin showing a bit of an old Gavin tonight. Let's hope he can keep it up.
Just carry on doing laps. Car will get lighter. Here we go. Just going over the curb a little bit.
Mr. Director, can we also have a shot there of Chen? Oh, okay, there we go. There's Raptor as well coming back out the pits. So it's Raptor, looks like with a black and reddish colours. Yeah, so Chen decided to go for the same car, same livery as last week.
This will be number one. It's going to be easy to identify.
There's Raptor. Yep, the German flag livery.
Nice colours.
Of course, this was a lot of people's favourites all over the world back in the day when these cars were big. The old box shape.
Oh yeah, they were. If you had one of these in the early 90s.
You were the main man. You were the main man.
You were the main cat.
Of course, nowadays BM is so common. You drive a BM and everybody's like yawning.
Nobody really stops at a traffic light and checks out a BM anymore. It's just they're quite common.
Yeah, this was definitely one of the.
No movement from Devon. Currently 9 6 seconds off the pace.
Sorry guys, just switch off here for a brief moment. That's one thing, if you're not racing, you don't really touch the buttons, and if you're so nice into the chat, you forget to move some buttons so it doesn't switch off.
Seems like first and second aren't going to have another go at it. Not much time remaining.
No,
don't think.
Just
they
under 2 minutes. I don't think so. Definitely not.
They won't be able to get around. So it's up to Nizmax now to improve. And as I say that, we join him. He's off track. So I don't think he's going to be able to improve unless he can get around, start another lap.
I think he regrets his choice to go to the Merc. Looks like that Merc is a handful compared to the BM.
He's running away with the championship at the moment.
Of course, something like this is just good for the championship.
With the points. Not Sebastian could really use the points. He started the season as the winner. Now not Sebastian.
Under a minute now. This practice / quali will be officially for something of a pass. Oh, back end steps out big time. Really battling. Like this is not the Nizmax we know. This car definitely is not comfortable with it. Oh, and there's another cat via on the out of a track, ran off.
Chen still out on circuit, 20 seconds remaining in this qualifying session. Obviously, if you can get over the line, you're going to have that one last go at it.
He's very close to Nizmax. Unusual, but you know what, why not? And he came that close to winning the endurance race, of course, around 5 there at Bathurst. So Chen have the ability to take it to Nizmax. Looking at the time so far, it's going to be an interesting one tonight.
Qualifying time has completed, so we'll just that 120-second rundown clock on the side for the guys that are still out on track. That's Torquay, Chen and Nizmax. Ride with Torquay. See if he can improve on this time. Currently 5th, big gap between him and 4th. He's going to have to find a whole chunk of time if he's going to improve now.
Yep.
Luckily no penalties in qualifying. So we don't have to worry about any grid place penalties. That's Actually,
if
a
you
first
look
in
at
quite some time.
now, Toki, the judge, and Gathpik, and even Raptor, if you look at how close those guys are, wow, not much in it.
And something tells me Devon didn't actually get much running in this qualifying session, so
It was more in the pit.
I'm sure he's got more pace than that. That was a one-off lap.
Of course, Devon not known for sandbagging. There's a reason for that.
Chen has gone over the line, so he has finished this session, so he will not improve.
This Max and Toki just to see. This Max looked a bit on the slow side.
It's going to be a close midfield battle.
And
from
Toki,
fifth downwards.
It does improve a bit over the time, but obviously he stays there in fifth.
So just to read your results before they disappear real quick. Not Sebastian, first place, 144.7, followed by not Kimmy, 145.2. Then Nizmax, 145.8. Not far off in the end there. Chen in fourth, Toki fifth, Judge in sixth, then Gavin in seventh, Raptor eighth, and Devon, I don't think he got much running at all.
No. And surprise, surprise, no penalties.
Yeah, no grid place penalties in a qualifying session. That is quite impressive. It's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah, because last couple of races, at least one grid place penalty. Of course, just waiting for everybody to ready up and get their stuff ready. I do know the host allows obviously a quick smoke break or whatever for those guys to ready themselves, compose themselves, and then get into the race. Of course, a new racer also joining the group this week. Can't be here tonight, obviously work commitments. However, going forward, we will obviously see him as well. And Mr. Poffmace, if I'm not mistaken. So looking forward to see him on track and how it goes.
Interesting. Name. Obviously just waiting for the guys to get ready. Busy finishing up setups, strategies. Maybe having a last drag of the cigarette. Final preparations mean different things to everybody.
Or the last sip of Biffles.
That's right. Those final preparations mean different things to everyone. Could have one guy taking it so seriously, he's sitting there with his eyes closed, imagining the track going through the corners. And then the next guy, he's just worried about finishing as much of that smoke as he can.
I know Raptor's got a little cup holder in his racing seat, so I'm sure he's got something there for the throat.
Got little convenient for convenience.
That's one nice thing about the wheel. If you mastered it, you can actually do one hand. It allows the other hand to quickly have a glass, but of course it's not for everybody.
Yeah, no, I don't. No, I don't think that works.
But you can't exactly put one of those hard hats with cups on the side because where does your earphones go? That's of course if you want to be in a party chat.
No, you're just getting a little confusing. No, I don't drink while I'm racing.
Or
I
just
don't
have
light the cigarette when I'm racing.
Have one straw, a long straw.
I've never fallen asleep while racing. Can't say as much for the judge.
He's not going to live that one down.
Never, ever.
Hey.
All of a sudden you just hear the snoring in the background of this party chat, and it's like, wait a second. Who's snoring? And the only one not laughing is the judge. So, the two and two together, and yeah.
Dames en here, ons het 'n wenner. Yeah, well, it happens. Yeah, sometimes work takes a lot out of you, but you still have those guys as tired as they are. They rock up and race, even if it means falling asleep. It's not like some other people we know that just come to, I'm tired, I'm not going to race, I don't feel it.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
We just heard that last week.
Actually, still no idea who you're talking about. But
here we
go. Now we're going to get some visuals of the track. If you've seen this before, you'll be familiar. The time's counting down, but that is the guys just doing final preparations, final strategy changes. And when that clock resets, we'll be underway. Sebastian Kimi front row. Didn't think I'd ever say that again.
Let's hope this is a good thing, a curse of good to come. You never know what to expect in F1 later this season. Let's hope Kimi have one final go in him.
I see, I was reading an article earlier. Giovinazzi is quite amped up this season.
Yeah, because
he knows this is his season to do it. He says
he's got high hopes for Ferrari.
He's got small things he wants to accomplish on the way. Ferrari is obviously the end goal, but the first thing, he obviously needs to get the better of Kimi.
Kimi, correct.
And once he gets the better of Kimi, then I think he will raise some eyebrows at Ferrari.
Just remember, that's no easy feat.
If he's beating Kimi week in, week out, Ferrari will look at him. But as long as Kimi's beating him, they won't look at him, because Kimi was their driver.
As you imagine, remember back in the day, Kimi in a Sauber.
If the
there we
Sauber
go,
was
clock
to
is
be
reset
believed,
and we're about to go racing. 2, 1, and go! Wow, a Chen with a good start. So that, yeah, here we go, Nismax as well. Both not and not didn't have the best of starts. Not Kimi with a bit of a bang there, it looks like with a judge.
With that, it just looks like the
Nismax and Toki, both Mercs. As much as you said Merc might not be a good idea, both Mercs are actually leading the pack. And Chen
like
all the way in third. Both, not Kimi and not Muna, not Sebastian, sorry, both of them fell down to 4th and 5th. Electric start from Nismax and Toki and even Chen.
Two Mercs lead the way. Going against
not Kimi running wide there. Trying to put Chen under pressure from the outside. Chen keeping the inside or battling, not Kimi going wide there. Not giving up. Wrapped in under battle as not Sebastian fell back another place.
Raptor currently in 5th. Here goes.
And Chen runs wide just as Raptor and not Sebastian make some contact. And that will cause not Sebastian to drop even further down. Now it's pretty much battling there with a judge and Devon at the back in that silver Merc, just having a look at these guys, what's happening.
Devon just keeping his distance for the time being. Letting all of this in front of him settle down. It's probably the best place to be right now. I think it's pretty stressful to be up there in the midfield. Got to get every breaking point right, otherwise you affect guys around you.
Not Sebastian's going to put the pig under pressure here. I expect him to come diving in on the inside into this first corner. There we go, going on to the inside. About hitting the brakes, and he managed to outbrake him, but and the pig. Oh, that's a pig move. No two ways about that. That is a pig move. Disgusting. For good measure, give him a nice tap, sends him off track and regains the position.
Yeah, then now.
Oh, now he's doing it with Raptor as well. You saw that coming, that dive bombing Raptor. There was always going to be contact there because he was late on the brakes. You had to go to the outside to avoid contact, and he decided to dive onto the inside and send Raptor wide.
I'm not sure what's going on here, but no penalties within the game system, so nope, no penalty.
Won't be surprised if the stewards want to look at this after the race.
But that might go to the stewards over at TNR. Because yeah, that was basically pushed by two competitors in about the space of 3 or 4 corners. So let's see where that goes. Going back down the field, here's the judge.
The judge chasing down. The judge and then Raptor. They both are going to have a go yet for Pig.
They're probably all in the same party chat. Well, they are all in the same party chat. I think there's 8 of them in that party chat.
Ooh, and a big off it for back there for not Sebastian, but he manages to regain it. He manages to bring it under control. It could have been so easily barriers.
Ooh, what?
Oh, and the Pig does it again, this time to the judge. Same corner as he did with not Sebastian the previous lap.
Oh wow.
Of course, the judge having a much better turn was going to take him into that first corner, past him. And of course, Gav Pig just continued, put down the accelerator and boom. Copy paste. And he runs off track.
Do you see any damage on your screen?
No. That, surprisingly,
yeah,
that game doesn't show damage.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like, I was looking at my screen and then I checked the stream, but the stream should be what's on my screen, so I don't see any damage.
And yet there was damage in qualifying, and they would have not switched it off, otherwise it would have been switched off at the beginning.
And
because you can't have one session because it's a continuous session. So one won't have damage and the other don't, and we always drive with damage on.
He had severe impact 3 times, and I don't see as much as a scratch. Or a
but on the other side,
or...
we said it before, what you see sometimes and how it is really, it's not always the same.
Raptor currently in 6th. Let's go back to the top. Let's see.
I can tell you,
he's in 3rd and he's battling with Toki. Fighting for 2nd place in this race.
Toki doing a good job here, still keeping in 2nd place there. Fighting off Not Kimi. Oh! Ooh. Now it's Toki's turn to be getting a nudge with Not Kimi. Not Kimi running into a barrier, and also his car looks like there's no damage. Chen actually
promoted Chen.
Yes, now Chen will have a go with Toki. And all the way Nismax is the one smiling because the gap opened up further now, approaching 4 seconds.
And I mean, I'm really impressed by Nismax leading this race. He looked nowhere in qualifying.
Exactly.
And it didn't look like
Toki not with a good drive out of that corner. Chen with much better drive.
Didn't look
racing
like
side by side. Not Kimi staying in front, and Not Kimi's going to sneak up in the middle of the two of them. Not Kimi, oh, and he overcooked it. If he made that stick, that would have been a brilliant move. But he couldn't make it stick.
That would have been probably the move of the season. That was insane.
He lined it up so nicely, these two side by side going for it. Just leaving enough space in the middle and he whooped. But yeah, didn't work out on that occasion.
Now Chen sees an opportunity for 2nd place. He's getting pretty close.
And that gap actually opened up even further. Nismax now almost 6 seconds ahead.
Really
the more these guys battle, the better for him.
When they come up on your gearbox, they just flick their lights, just in case you didn't know. I'm here. I love it. Nismax leads. That gap continues to open up. Battle between Toki and Chen seems to have just settled down a little.
Gaspic in
Gavin.
fourth. Raptor chasing him down.
Gavin in,
And
yeah,
not
Gavin in fourth,
Sebastian
but
up to 6 now.
I think he's going to have his hands full if these guys catch him, because I can think of a few of them that might be a little mad.
I wanted to say I'm sure the judge is fuming under that helmet. And I can promise you, probably let his favourite phrase go more than once.
He's got, I mean, if you look at the situation now, Gavin's got 5 drivers behind him. I think he's made contact with 4 of those drivers.
And right on him is one, he actually made contact when he tried to pass him earlier, and he's going to have a go at him. Ooh. And there we go. And Raptor just giving him a lack and nudge there for payback. Make sure he stays wide and runs off track into the gravel. That's going to set him back a few places. Raptor actually helping a couple of guys there to pass the pick.
Yeah,
and he's now behind all of those guys that he made contact with. So, to be honest, I must say that what a move, Raptor. He actually paid back for all those drivers that made contact with the pick. Because they're all just in literally a one corner past him, thanks to Raptor just giving a lucky gentle nudge. That's another guy you don't tick off if he retaliates. And Chen actually passed Toki, and Toki dropping off. 3 seconds between them. Chen is getting away from Toki, now chasing after Nismax.
If I were Gavin, I wouldn't complain too much about the move though.
No,
I'd just be like, okay, we're fair.
That's it. We even Stevens.
Everyone got their position back. Okay, we're fair. Now the problem is he's at the back, and he's gonna. Let's hope he doesn't do that again on his way through, because he is quick. He will catch them again. I just don't understand this damage. We've seen the other side of it, but I don't think we've seen 0 damage glitch.
No.
I'm sure the drivers are feeling the effects of damage. We're just not seeing it. Or are they? I don't know.
But it's a thing that we saw before as well. It looks like a car's got damage, meantime it doesn't have damage, or surely it can be vice versa as well.
You know, it comes into the pits and has a really lengthy pit stop. Surely it's getting repairs and comes out, looks just as bad as when it went in, so. Not Sebastian sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:44.7. What? That is quick.
Definitely.
1:44.7. That's appearing on my race feed, but it's not appearing on my...
to keep up with Chen, and they're actually going to be under pressure now from not Sebastian. He's going slow, not sure there might be some damage that we don't know of. Oh, and he runs wide. Also a bit of lag there. But we'll see not Sebastian go through. Yeah, Toki with a big RV. Also allows Raptor through.
Could also allow not
and
Kimmy
here comes
through.
Not Kimmy, yeah. Not Kimmy also going to go for Toki from 3rd down to 6 in just a few meters.
Similar situation for Gavin, he went from 4th to 8th.
But that was by help of Raptor, who paid back, so sorry, we're not going to worry too much about that one.
Things could get interesting in a second. Just look at the 2 cars in front.
I was just about to say, look at these 2 watch. Somebody's going to swear at somebody watch.
So I tend to think Gavin's a little quicker, and he's going to catch up, and then it's going to be
of course, the judge, a race winner already earlier this season, and Gathpeak in season 1 was right up there with the Nismaxes and the Not Sebastians. So Gathpeak can, if he can just get his act together, get his head out of his you-know-what.
Nismax leading at the front. And you know, I know he was nowhere in qualifying, but it wasn't a typical Nismax sandbagging. He was spinning, he was going off track, he really looked like the car was a handful, but
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Looking at how he's racing since the race started, no mistakes and stuff, I would think that was all for show in qualifying.
Get the commentators to throw some drama on the evening. It's like Toto Wolff saying, "Oh no, we're off the pace. We don't know what's going on. Everyone's faster than us."
Yeah.
And then, yeah, no.
Who wins?
Yeah,
Who's did the fastest
liar.
lap? No, Toto Wolff is the worst liar ever.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. Raptors in 4th. He's had an up and down race.
I think he and the judge, they're just glad to be racing, regardless where they are at the moment.
Zhuhai also on a bit of a recovery drive. He just made a mistake that didn't deserve all those positions, but
I'm not.
Can be quite difficult to get this back on track.
Looks like he's going a bit slower than what he was at the beginning. He just can't hold on to the guys in front of him. They're just pulling away. So there might be damage. We just can't see it.
Yeah, we're not getting a good perspective. You know, like the car looks perfect, so we have to look at the lap times to see if this guy's clearly got damage.
And not Sebastian catching chin.
From here, these sort of cars would put panel beaters out of business.
Oh yes.
Plus, they'd be extremely dangerous because you hit anything.
Because they're not crashing like a cauldron can. They were built to last. Some proper metal.
Not Kimmy and Raptor.
Some of those body panels you had to hit with like a 4-pound hammer to make a sort of an indent.
Pretty much. And my dad's in that game, and he worked on a lot of these in his day.
And of course, these cars were not so affected by hail like nowadays. Of course, every second car you see goes for a claim hail damage.
In that time, the only time a new part came into the panel beating shop was when that part had no way of being repaired. Like, if they looked at that and they were like, okay, there's no way we can fix this, then they would buy the part. But if that door could be fixed with a 4-pound hammer, that's exactly what they did.
Take the hammer, heat out all the dings, and then of course comes the body putty, and then a lot of sanding.
My dad says modern panel beaters should be renamed parts fitters.
Yeah, I also agree with your dad. Even if I'm not a panel beater by trade myself, I agree. Because that's exactly what we do. It's just take off old panels, put on new panels.
My dad once witnessed this panel beater, so-called panel beater, basically putting this car back together and basically put the door on. And when he closed the door wouldn't close. Okay? There was clearly something was very bent. So the solution, and this is how the car went to the customer, was 3 of them hung on the door and bent the hinges. Yeah. And then the door closed. So nothing's wrong with that car. As Max still leads, that gap 7.6 seconds.
That's how things used to be.
Chen still in second.
But Sebastian is catching, getting ever so closer.
Coming back into this race. Didn't have the best start. Things didn't go his way, then he left the track.
That gap between this Max and Chen also stabilized. It's not opening up as earlier.
Sitting at about 7.5 seconds. It's been there for a couple of laps. Sebastian will get ever closer.
Gap is still behind the judge. The judge opened up the gap a bit.
See those 2 in 3rd and 4th, the not pairing. They were on the first row of the grid, and both of them got terrible starts in the BMWs. This Max got away pretty nicely. He's led ever since. He hasn't shown any signs of the Vettel dramas that he had in qualifying. He spun it 2 or 3 times, Vettel style.
Almost for a moment looked like not Kimi wanted to go that route. Well, from that angle it almost looked like that car's back end wanted to step out.
Perhaps also not far down the road. 2 seconds down the road. Topi settled in 6th for now. Was in a much stronger position earlier on, and then really just ran wide. And
the judge is catching him and is bringing the big whiff. Devon just not able to keep on pace with these guys.
Not sure what the camera was looking for, but there we go. Gavin hasn't really made too much of an attempt here on Judge. He's just sat there for a while.
I think he will be too scared to try another move on the judge. Probably, my guess is the judge told him his future. Oh, gap big runs wide.
Oh no.
Oh. That will release Toki and the judge, and we can have a Toki judge battle like earlier this season.
This is nothing new.
Ooh, and Toki battling where not a good drive out of the corner. It brings Judge ever so closer.
These two always seem to find each other on circuit multiple times. Also in the same racing car today. So equal machinery.
Oh, and the Judge going to have to go on the inside. Much better drive out of that corner. He's going to pull it off.
Nicely done. Going to promote him up to 6th, but now
Toki,
Toki's got the inside.
Keeps in there, gets the inside, but no, bit of contact there.
That's going to break some momentum for him, and it's going to allow Toki just
Plus he hits the brakes a bit because he tried to avoid Toki. So he's going to have to do all of this all over again.
It's a bit of a breather, I was just about to say, but that's not a breather, that's 0.4 of a second, so he's come right back. Didn't let that put him off. He got straight back at it. Nothing there, just half a second between these two. And if a mistake comes, he's definitely going to go for it.
I think we got a good battle there in front, Chen and not Sebastian. But as I say that, the gap actually opened as not Sebastian spun. That allows not Kimi through.
Commentator's curse. Even when you read even when you're just reading timing screens, commentator's curse.
You see that gap, I just saw the gap coming down nicely, and as I mentioned something, you cut to it and we've got the back end of that spun. And Chen dropped another 4 seconds now to Nismax. A moment ago that gap was stable in the mid-7s. Now it's actually more than the 11.
Now those 3rd and 4th have obviously switched places. Got Kimi now in 3rd. He said that gap at the front just opening up from 7 to 11 seconds in a very short period of time, so must have been some sort of a mistake.
Can you believe it, already almost 22 minutes gone?
Sometimes the races feel like they take forever, and other times we get through them pretty quickly. It's been a lot to watch. It's been a lot to watch.
A lot of action.
A lot of battles. Been a lot of gav pig. And I'm sure there's been a lot of judge in that party chat.
Yeah, there's a lot of judging. He's judging him, alright.
I hope we can actually manage to catch 1 or 2 of them after the race. They always leave so quick.
Hey,
I wanna hear a few comments.
by the time we finish up the stream and Randolph, you go in there, party chat is exit, gone, finish, we're offline.
They're gone. Sometimes it's 2-3 minutes and they're done.
So much for trying to invite them here for interviews. That's also gonna happen. I think maybe that's what they're scared of. They're scared we put him under the pump and get him in here for commentary or for some comments post race.
25th. At least the cars look good for the entirety of the race. Sometimes we see horrible things. I mean, I've even seen Nismax win a race with no bonnet. That car looked horrible. What, Sebastian?
Of course, a track that's a nightmare, and you can back me on that. Is that is Notchlife, never getting Notchlife on this game? It's a nightmare.
Look at these two.
Not Sebastian diving on the outside. You will have the inside over corner. Yep, as not Kimmy goes wide, try for a better line. Gonna cut an inside, but no, not close enough. Not Sebastian pulling that off back into third.
Now he's gonna have to get to closing that gap to Chen, and he's gonna have to do all that work all over again. Did a good job to get past there. Sebastian 44, love it. In a BM. If Lewis Hamilton got pictured, like,
I must say,
on a track fun day driving a BMW, he would be in so much trouble.
Not Sebastian's a very patient guy, I must say. Because everywhere else you get only allowed 3 strikes. He allows you 10 strikes. Of course, looking at the side of his car, that livery, 10 strikes.
10 strikes. Really good looking cars, actually.
All of them. Of course, last week with the AI, we also saw a Ford Sierra. Was that something to see again? I mean, we saw those type of cars when we were youngsters, man. We were primary school when we saw these things.
That's pretty much. And when I was in primary school and a kid's parents came and picked him up in a Ford Sierra, it was like, hey, how's this cat?
Or even better, later when the luxury version came out, the Sapphire. If your dad stopped with a Ford Sapphire at school,
Not Sebastian, he's clearing away now from Kimi. They were really close not so long ago. He's going to close up to Chen. That gap was 5 seconds, it's now 3 seconds.
So it looks like
2 seconds.
Looks like not Sebastian is back in his groove. Question is, can he keep it up? Need to minimize it, but as much as not Sebastian caught up with Chen actually also closed the gap a bit to Nismax.
Gap 9 seconds.
And it can be that Nismax made a bit of a mistake.
Been leading for a while, been out there by himself for a while. Concentration can break. Can actually be quite difficult if you just lead a race from the very beginning and then you just don't see anybody. Like the first half an hour, you're all by yourself. If it was me, I would have made so many mistakes.
Nobody there to keep you honest, nobody to push you.
You know, when you're following someone, you're constantly, you can't run into that person and you're always looking for a gap. So, but I don't know, when you're just going at it constantly, like time trial, eventually I'm going to make a mistake. Chen still second, 10 seconds that gap. Gap still 3 seconds, down to third place. And then Kimi dropping a little further back. Almost 3 seconds now. Raptor still having a strong race in 5th. Beyond said, probably just really happy to be here. Same with the judge. Really had a lack of track time and it hasn't been their fault. Judge in 6th. Jockey, first man to come into the pits.
But that's roughly more or less what we expect. Because it's around about this halfway mark where the guys start coming into the pits.
Toki is the first of the drivers, at least that I've noticed. I haven't noticed anyone else pitting, so I think that's the first one. Devon in 9th, wasn't nice livery there, but hasn't had the best time of it. Toki's still in the pits. Devon gets promoted briefly up to 8th place. That gap coming down again, 9.2 seconds now. Chen and Nismax. Just have a look there on the timing screen. Look at that last lap, 1:46.4 for Nismax, 1:46.6 for Chen, and a 1:46.8 for Sebastian. So basically those top three are matching each other on pace. Fastest lap of the race so far, showing as a 1:45.3, and it's not the same as my race speed, so I don't know how that works. Nismax leads, Chen second. Gap down to third, still 2 seconds. Down in 4th. Raptor 5th. And what a race this guy's had. He was up to 4th at one stage. But the way he got there was questionable. Thanks for all the support on the channel, guys. See a lot of comments. Guys talking amongst each other. Nice to see all the Toki fan club. Up at the front, still stable at 10 seconds. A lot of movement there. Who's this? There we go, Nismax into the pits. Your leader into the pits. What is not Sebastian going to do? Will he react immediately? Will he stay out? Staying out. That'll promote him to the lead. Chen to second. Nismax still stationary. This will probably be his one and only pit stop of the race. It is half distance. Seems like Raptor's also going to get through. Maybe not. Yeah, he does. Really the best case scenario here for not Sebastian and Chen. I think it's just a second covering those two. If Raptor can make a bit of a fight of it and hold this match up a little bit, maybe can cut that 10-second lead down after everyone has made their pit stop. He's not having those clean laps anymore. For the first time in the race, he's actually got a car in front of him. For the time being, Sebastian leads, Chen second, and not Kimi third. Lap 18. Sebastian staying out. So we've seen these two have near identical strategies. I'd be surprised if he stayed out much longer. Gonna have to come in the next 2 or 3 laps surely. Chen now, he's made his pit stop. He's gonna come out with a bit of traffic ahead of him. Comes out behind Gavin. He joins in 7th. That leaves not Sebastian. The only one up front there yet to pit. Obviously Kimi has not pit. They're separated by 10 seconds. First and second as they started. Both yet to pit. Judge having a good race in 5th, considering. Had a bit of a nasty shunt earlier on. And Gavin went on a bit of a rampage. It's quite entertaining. Would have loved to hear the soundtrack though. I think the soundtrack would have been more entertaining. And I mean, that was entertaining, but trust me, the soundtrack would have been more entertaining. Now as everybody pits, this Max up to 3rd place. The only two not to pit are the two knots. Not Kimi and not Sebastian yet to pit. 1st and 2nd. How they started the race, 1st and 2nd. They didn't get to turn 1 that way. Got to turn 1 in 4th and 5th.
I'm hoping that Gavpik now being 6 keep for where he's going at the moment, and when he doesn't do what he did at the beginning, he can also do with some solid points. Maybe that's all he needs, just to get the motivation, good enough motivation for him to just pull it all together again.
Just needs to, you know, complete a race, bring it home, get the feeling for it again.
Just something small like that, just to boost that confidence again. I mean, we talk about a guy that took the fight literally to both Nismax and not Fernando. Not Fernando, sorry man, to not... You see, I knew it's going to happen. To not Sebastian.
it's
too many knots, too much knots, not to notch. All we know is not for Mott.
I've already called him not Munna.
Sebastian Munna, not Munna.
I'm like that. Yeah, Sebastian Munna, not Munna. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
but I think it's quite funny.
He's driving better now than what he did in the beginning here. So let's hope he keeps it up.
Probably just renamed TNB not at this stage.
Okay, what's happening with Raptor? Looks like Raptor's losing play. Oh, it's just him and Toki having a lucky battle with the back. Ooh, Toki goes off. Too late on the brakes there. You can see the last lap as well at 2:59. Oh, Toki, oh, but that looks like lag.
This is lag in a big way. Oh well. So now if you look at Raptor, then you look at that Merc. Oh well.
Mm.
Let's try and do this. What is wrong with my controller?
Oh boy.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Should I say it, or am I going to commentate as cursed? I'm going to say it.
You know you want to.
I'm going to say it.
Go for it.
This is pretty... Wow. Like, well, there's been no penalties in qualifying, in the race. Is there a glitch? There's no damage.
The settings change that we don't know of. I mean, come on.
Like, seriously? There's been no penalties. Not even a one grid phase penalty or a... This game gives out 1 second penalties. There's absolutely nothing.
This back in second, but Judge now in third.
2/3 of this race completed. And how did Gavin not get a penalty?
I mean, he's the first one to get a penalty, especially with a contact he made. I mean,
how did this happen? Is Judge yet to pit?
Yeah.
He's up in third. Currently separating Mismax and Chen. Will probably be your leaders when everyone has pitted. Grandstand on the left just really reminds me of Catalonia.
You were way positioned as well.
Yeah.
Of course, if you think about it, Catalonia, but it's also one of the few tracks where you actually see it like that. Of course, Shanghai is the other one. We actually also see the pit lane on the right hand side, of course. Clockwise tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Albert Park is another.
Clockwise. Wait. Which isn't it? I think Canada's one of them.
Canada's anti-clockwise.
Yeah. But Canada's like Thailand.
That's
anti-clockwise.
The pit lane entrance is on your left, where West, for argument's sake, would be on your right. And
the original Kyalami was clockwise.
Man, how that has changed that.
The original Kyalami, I couldn't even show you where that track was. Because basically where we were sitting for the 9 hour, okay, that was the old main straight. And then
that's right, because that's the old pit exit there, correct, you're right, because you can actually see the old pit exit.
And then if you turned around and looked away from the track, there was a huge business park behind us. The old Kyalami went through there. And when they put it the way it is now, they sold that land. So,
and of course, a couple of business were clever enough to buy next to the track.
Well, imagine that if F1 does ever make a return and you've got a balcony facing the track, you can sell those tickets.
You're gonna make money. People will buy your tickets. And then on that balcony, throw in a bit of a catering service. Oh yeah, you're gonna make money.
Max leads, not Sebastian.
Not Sebastian is out.
Comes out of the pits in second, so that did work out nicely for him. What was the gap? The gap was
about 20 odd seconds before he pitted.
Just have to give those timing screens a few corners just to...
There we go, looks like it's 3 seconds, just under 3 seconds.
There we go, not much in it. The last 15 minutes of the race could have all out brawl going at it.
And Gav in the pits.
something to keep in mind is, seems like Sebastian really stretched it. He pitted much later, so he's gonna have fresh tires at the end, fresher, and might make a difference.
I'm surprised to see Gaspic in the pit this late. Devon also in the pit.
Wonder if he put fuel in.
That's exactly why I said to you, it's a surprise to see him this late.
He's obviously not listening to the stream.
He's
otherwise
not going to live that one down now either. And that's actually that's something that actually happened last season.
I think it was like the first. It was a
literally
lot.
in the first half.
I don't want to exaggerate, but I think it was like the first 3 or 4 rounds. He just either run out of fuel or go into the pits and not put in any fuel, or
and he pulled a bit of a typical Gaspic room, and he was in a good position. He and Muna was actually racing for the race with that night.
He had serious pace. I mean, he was challenging Claasen, Muna.
That specific night it was him and Muna.
You know, after all this, Judge is still in third. He's having a good race.
Of course, like I said earlier, already a race winner of the season, so the Judge have the ability.
He's also had all 4 wheels.
And watch here, he's in the same screenshot even as those two. It's not as much as not Sebastian chasing down this, Max. Looks like the Judge is actually keeping up with him as well.
Not a bad position considering he had all 4 wheels leave the ground at a stage of this race. So that Raptor Gavin move that really cost him. Hasn't really made the comeback.
Nope.
I think Raptor sorted him out. Told him, if I see you in my mirrors.
So he stays far away from Raptor.
That gap at the front, just 9/10 of a second. It's quite odd. Almost got the same color between the two manufacturers, and they're getting really close. 15 minutes remaining. And we're going to have a bit of a shootout to the end.
This final 10 minutes going to be something to watch.
Dad's still out there in third, Chen's still out there in fourth. Oh, Kimmy. Had an up and down race.
Come here. Funny enough, now that you say it, remember, of course, oh well, but again, who didn't? Of course, South Park.
Yeah.
South Park, there was that one character, the guy that's in a wheelchair. Timmy, and he will always go, Timmy. It's like, when I think of not Kimmy, Kimmy.
Toki and Raptor, they're still at it at the back. See,
keeping each other company for a while now.
Difference between 6th and 7th, the points, and they're going to fight for those points.
Definitely.
If they're still available and they're still in reach.
Toki obviously want to show his support, what is in him, he want to show him why they're watching. So Toki's going to fight him, every bit of it. Oh, and as I say that, he just outbraved himself a bit there, but nothing serious. Didn't lose that much.
Just given Raptor a little bit of a breather.
Maybe it's all part of his plan.
Back up to the front, look at this, 0.2 of a second, cover the top two. Is it going to happen? Or is he just going to stay there for a while longer? He pitted much later than this, Max. He's going to have the fresher tyres.
And if memory
Probably
serves me
didn't-
right, that's pretty much what happened last week.
Probably didn't have to
He
throw in much
also
fuel.
put it late Vin, and actually that actually also helped him at the end with fresher rubber, and he, in that final stint, that's where he actually clinched the race.
Told you it's all concentration now. There's probably a few. Shut up, Gavin.
There we go, almost side by side. The judge,
Try and get
judge
a-
cannot hold on to these two as they keep on battling. Normally when
Try and
two
get
battle, that allow another car to come in, but no, they're actually pulling away while they're battling.
Sebastian taking a bit too much of curve on the inside, and then this match running wide on the outside and cancelling each other out.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at that.
Much better drive
Stop.
onto the inside. This match going a bit deep there.
They're side by side.
Side by side. It almost looks
Bit
like
of
the
a-
Merc is just pulling, just having a much better
Cameraman.
acceleration.
There
And that's going to have an inside.
we go. Well, if it's got the better
Not giving
acceleration,
up
then
again.
that explains the start.
Side by side. There we go. The Merc again. That Merc has just got better top end by the looks of it. And like you
Seems
say, that
in
will
the-
explain that start.
in the corners.
That acceleration is
That's,
just something on this Merc.
I think once you really get the hang of it, and once you probably really get in tune with it, that car around the corners probably makes up a hell of a lot of time. But a single lap, qualifying lap, and a race are very different.
Ooh, not Sebastian. With a little bit of just enough wheel off the track there for a puff of dust. Nothing serious. What's funny, even with newer tires, that Merc is just still getting away from that BM. Not by much, but still just making sure that he can stay ahead of that BM.
Needs to
Jen
see a
now
race.
actually, Jen is about to harass the judge.
So battles all over, battles for first, battles for third.
And of course,
But,
back.
Sophie's still.
I was just about to say
close.
something. Raptor Talk is still all battling there.
In these
The
two.
only two that's the only three that's not battling is not Kimmy, Gav, and Devon.
One thing I can say about this season throughout is that when you get to the last 10 minutes,
surely
you get
not
to-
Sebastian's going to do it this time, because actually Nismax put a wheel off track there. It would have cost him some time. Nismax going to keep it inside, but no, here we go. Sebastian keeping it. Nine minutes to go. Oh, and now Sebastian runs wide, and he runs wide properly, but managed to come back, keep it in front. But again, I would prefer to be the car at the back at this moment. The pressure is always on the car in front. And this guy can see every move of you. You have to look backwards. And looking in your mirror the whole time is also not a good thing.
I feel like you start driving differently when there's someone behind you.
Oh yes, there's
And they're
definitely a
close
difference.
behind you. You can't just focus on the racetrack ahead of you. You can't just focus on your braking points and your corner apexes. You're always going to see the proximity arrow. You're always going to look in your mirrors, and you're always going to take that corner slightly differently. Be that little bit more defensive. So if he doesn't get away, he's going to have a stressful 8 minutes.
Chin has passed the judge. Meanwhile, back then talking Raptors, that gap actually grew a little bit as well. Chin back in third where he was earlier.
It's really good to see. We started with 9 runners. That's how many runners we have. It's 7.5 minutes remaining.
Still full grid and no penalties also.
Everybody fighting through to the end, so far anyway. It'd be really depressing if someone retired at 7 minutes remaining in an endurance race.
Berlin 2000 Nokia Merc. Not on song tonight, having a very lonely race.
Seen them a lot quicker than this. Just
yes.
Obviously not clicking with this car, not clicking with this track. Maybe it's a combination of the two. Maybe tried the BM and it was even worse than this. So just not working for him, the combination on the night. But he's definitely quicker than this.
Earlier this season with the supercars, he was right there with some of the guys. He was pretty much in the mid. He was running along with your chains and your judges. So he can definitely be up there.
Nothing's changed at the front. Not Sebastian leads from Nismax. Chen third. Wonder if he's going to come into this. If these two do start battling in the last 2 or 3 laps, could bring Chen right into this battle. Judge still having a fantastic result here. He's in 4th place. It's ahead of Not Kimmy.
Not Kimmy. Kimmy some distance off him.
He's cleared Toki.
Yeah, Toki falling off further. Now it's like 5 seconds. Or 4 seconds.
Gavin had a very interesting race. At the beginning of the race, having a very lonely race towards the end of it. But good on him for finishing so far. 5 minutes to go. Pick up some points.
Unless he becomes spiteful now and spites you and retire.
Well, then he's just costing himself points. And it would be quite pointless at this stage.
Yeah, cut off your nose, spite your face. Oh, and the judge is in the pit.
Ooh, looking at that sponsor
that brings
back
Not
memories.
Kimmy back into 4th.
That Nokia was quite a dominant brand at some stage. Do you know at some stage Nokia cell phones were, I think, 80% of the European market, and today they're nothing. Ooh.
These two
What's going on here? This is not settled. This is definitely not settled.
Which is far from over. You're going to see this happening right till the finish line.
No, just getting a little bit out of shape. It's going to come back.
Chen has closed a little bit on him.
Seems like the gaps at the back have all opened up. This is obviously the big battle. What I've really enjoyed all season.
This is the battle that doesn't. This gap always stays like this.
Something I've enjoyed.
Sebastian can feel the pressure. He can literally smell that oil in that Merc engine, that sump. That's how close they are. Just over 3 minutes to go. It's literally like 2 more laps.
This is not a view Merc fans would be pleased with the BM in front of the Smurf.
If you're a Lewis Hamilton fan as well.
Well, Robbie would not be impressed. Wait, he dropped the BM? Oh no, that's just confusing.
That's a real life confusion.
Robbie drives a BMW by day and supports Merc, but hates Hamilton. This is wow.
Ooh, here we go.
Different level.
Looks like there might have been a bit of a contact there, but Nismax is on the inside. He did manage to get in front.
Oh, nicely done. Sweeps through there on the inside.
Can he keep it for the remainder of his lap and the next lap? So that's all that's left.
Behind.
That's all that's left over. Then this race is done and dusted. Oh, there we go. The Moon actually went for the outbraking. I'm sure that's coming a long way go.
There's Max.
Try again on the outside.
It's gonna keep on going. Cool. Actually loving these camera views. Nothing in it, and you know what, we've seen hardly any contact, and they're really going at it, so it's as smooth as possible.
It's always like this. You're always expecting something like this between these two.
You can push on the limit and everyone makes mistakes, but I have seen them make contact once or twice, but for the amount of racing they do compared to the amount of time they actually make contact.
This will be the last lap if they start it now.
And Nismax is in second, Winner leads. Nismax is going to win this race. Gonna have to get past on this lap, and he's gonna have to keep that lead. I'd be surprised if we still see the lead change more than once.
.47 and 44 going at it.
Everest. Is this the same sponsor? No. I was gonna say, if that's the same sponsor, the sponsor will be pretty pleased. Chen in third, where he's been for most of the race. He's actually getting a bit of a view of that. Sure, he wishes he could get a bit closer and interfere. Not give me fourth. Judge will be happy with this result, I think, at the end of the day. Things looked a lot worse at one stage.
Correct.
Raptor 6th, Talkie 7th, Gavin in 8th, and then Devon, like we said, just not feeling it tonight.
Final few corners for these two.
Winner still leads. Merc ahead of BM ahead of Merc. It's not over yet. It's gonna go down to the end.
There we go. No, Sebastian's gonna do it. He's gonna keep it.
Oh wow!
Nicely done, gentlemen. Pushing each other to the limits all the way.
I love that. After 1 hour of racing, the gap was a second.
Actually, no, it's only showing a second now. It was actually less. When they crossed the finish line, it was like only a tenth, 2 tenths, nothing more.
Huh. And boys, no penalties.
That's it. There's some sort of glitch.
Either there's a glitch, a rule change I was not informed about, or really clean driving, except for Gav. What? I had to throw that in there. And he made contact with...
Well, if it was a change, I think definitely Gav will be happy.
Yeah, he gets some points today. Well, probably not as many as he'd like, but
At least he kept his cool and he stayed in the race.
Great result for not Sebastian, finally winning a race. Actually started in pole, definitely didn't have the start he would have wanted. But, and at one stage I think he was down in 8th, so fought back, got to the front, challenged the guy who led the majority of the race and beat him, and they both fought right down to the line. Chen, good result. Again, just consistency from Chen.
There we go, and that is that. Could just run us through there, Mr. Not Fernando.
Okay, so obviously formerly known as Munner, Not Sebastian wins the race, followed by Nizmax and Chen. Then Not Kimmy in 4th, the judge in 5th. I almost called him Not Judge. Then 6th Raptor, 7th Toki, Gavin in 8th, and then Devon coming through in 9th place. We started with 9, we finished with 9.
And no penalties.
Nicely done, guys, no penalties. Fantastic racing, it was a pleasure to watch, and we actually got through that quite quickly. So thanks to everyone who watched. Hope to see you again next week. We'll be back, and I'll let Jan finish up. Cheers, guys.
Of course, as Not Fernando said, guys, thank you so much for the support, for those who've been watching, and of course for those who participate in the comments, we appreciate it. Of course, next week, same time, same place, round 8 of course already, so not that many left to go, then this season will also be pretty much finished. So till next week, keep safe, take care, and have a good one. Cheerio.